What's up, guys? Welcome back to Among the Fins. I am your host, Aaron, and if it's your first time here, I'd like to welcome you to my channel, a safe place where I talk about music and we can talk about all things we love or hate. And if you guys have any albums or singles or anything you want me to review, go ahead and leave a comment below letting me know what it is and I'll make it happen for you. But also, if you do that, don't forget to click the subscribe button and ring the little bell icon. That way you get notified when I do upload videos, because I have a lot of people requesting stuff and I upload it and they don't see it, and that makes me sad. And on today's music review, we're going to be talking about the album Fracture by the band Bleed From Within. Bleed From Within started about 2005. They are a Scottish metalcore, heavy metal, kind of deathcore band, and they have 5 studio albums, and their first album didn't come out until 2009. I gotta admit that I never actually listened to these guys before, but I did see a review on them from a guy named Bryson Blackmore, who posts reviews on the August Burns Red Facebook page, and he needs to start his own damn review channel because he's really good at it. So after seeing him do it, I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna be a copycat. I'm not gonna review something I've already seen reviewed. I try and keep it a clear head. I try not to look at anybody else's reviews of albums. I go on Reddit every once in a while and I get a general consensus of what the fans feel like, but I try not to look at any actual reviews. So I kind of put this album off for a while. But a lot of people are talking about it. A lot of people are saying this is like album of the year for them. It's the best thing they've ever heard. So it's all right. I'll just review the damn album, okay? I gotta start by saying that the production on this album feels extremely raw. It's probably one of the more raw albums I've listened to in terms of production, especially in the vocals and the drum work. The drum has this really poppy snare to it, and it reminds me a lot of the older thrash albums. And this album absolutely holds nothing back. It demands your attention. Like, sit down, shut up, and listen to what I have to say. And once you sit down, it goes and yanks you back up by your collar and kicks the chair across the room and starts screaming in your face. And instead of closing your eyes or looking away, you're just sitting there staring, getting hit in the face with spit, being like, please don't stop. And the first song on the album, The End of All We Know, sets the pacing for the entire album with just absolutely phenomenal riffs that kind of almost tread into breakdown territory. And the whole song and the lyrics are very creative and very well written. It has this huge chanty chorus. It's got a nice breakdown and a heavy bridge. The very next song, Pathfinder, is more vocal and drum driven, and the vocals from Scott Kennedy actually become more aggressive in this song, which I didn't think was possible. And the choruses in Pathfinder have clean singing, and the verses have more of the growly, distorted vocals. But when it comes to the breakdown, it's very heavy, and of course, brutal vocals and stuff. But then it goes into the last chorus, and it keeps that deep growly vocals going, and it makes just such a great contrast, and it flows so well into the chorus. And you don't even realize it's the same thing that you were hearing before because it's completely different, and it's freaking amazing. It was really hard to pick a song that stuck out to me the most, so I have 3 favorite songs on this album, and yes, I'm allowed to have multiple favorites. And the first one is the title track song, Fracture. To me, Fracture was the most dynamic and textured song on the whole album. And it builds up at a very vigorous pace, which kind of gives it a lot of different sections and a lot of different layers. So I guess it's kind of like an onion or an ogre. The verses are very drum and bass forward, and the guitars don't really do a whole lot, but they do just enough. They do just add just enough melody to give it just the perfect amount of atmosphere. The vocals and lyrics are a lot different from the other songs too, because the vocals go in and out of different types of clean and different types of distorted vocals, and it gives it this more intimate and kind of personal feel to the song. Another favorite song is the very next song, which is Night Crossing. It has a groovy melodic riff. The breakdown in it is just absolutely nasty, and it has the sexiest guitar solo on this album. But mostly for me, it was the vocals. The vocals on every single song carry their own kind of identity. And on the song Night Crossing, they have a lot more emotion and passion, and they're just so powerful. And they're not pretty, which I really enjoyed that. Like his screams, he holds them out until they break up, and I really enjoyed that. The third song that stuck out to me the most And the song that I feel like deserves a freaking award is the song Utopia. It blew me away when I was listening to it on my way home from work and when I was working out and when I was playing video games. This is like the one song where every time I was like, what the hell is that? It's got fat, juicy riffs freaking everywhere throughout the whole song. The choruses are like breakdowns. And at the end of the chorus is this hook where he says, in this utopia. And then directly after that, it's followed by this another just great riff. And it's just it's magnificent. It's perfect. And the mixture of the heaviness of the music and the breakdown with the lyrics and the absolutely aggressive vocals, it's just so brutal and it's just such a violent breakdown. It makes your ears bleed. It makes your vision go blurry. Even though those three songs stuck out to me the most, there really isn't a bad song on this album. In fact, they're all phenomenal. The song Ascend is very fast and groovy. It has a gnarly breakdown. And again, the lyrics in it are absolutely great and the vocals are superb. The song Into Nothing also has great lyrics and great vocals, but the breakdown in that song is just so weird. It's not like a textbook breakdown, and it gives it such a unique quality to just the whole song. The songs Into Nothing and Fall Away, both of their solos had kind of like a thrash influence to my ears. I'm not sure why, but I was just picking up a lot of different thrash elements throughout all these songs, whether it be the type of drum work that was going on or the solos, or even sometimes like the clean singing and like the distorted vocals. It just, every once in a while I just pick up on little just thrashy things. And the song For All to See just makes you want to get up and stomp around and throw your fists. It probably has my favorite riff on the whole album, which it's kind of hard to hear, but every once in a while when the vocals drop out, it just shines through, and it's just so well written. And the bass line in it is freaking sick as well. And the drum work throughout the breakdown and the outro is like a freaking machine gun. The closing song, A Depth That No One Dares, starts out with these deep, tired vocals that really fit the starting lyrics of the song, gasping for air. And just like the song For All to See, there's a guitar riff that goes into the chorus that has the same quality to it. And it kind of reminds me of something that August Burns Red might do, where it just stands out so much. It's so fast and it sounds so technical, and it just blazes by without you even noticing it. The only issues I had with this album was that it doesn't really give you any chance to breathe. There's no like actual slow parts to this album, which at the same time is kind of something I enjoyed, because sometimes when I'm listening to metalcore or something like that, they throw in this random just slow song that doesn't really fit the album at all, and then like the last half of the album is just super slow and it just dies out and becomes boring. Another issue I had was that the snare, sometimes how I mentioned how it has like this thrashy snare sound to it, it could be just a little bit too poppy and it could be kind of harsh on your ears. And one other thing is that the choruses, the chantiness of it can become just a little bit too much. So like every song, like I was saying, has its own identity and feel to it, but once you get to the chorus, they're all kind of the same. So it kind of feels like the last chorus you just listened to, even though the whole song sounds completely different. But like at the same time, those are all things I also enjoy. They did these choruses right, so they all sound freaking amazing. Even if they all do sound the same, who cares? Because like I said, they sound good. The snare, it could be loud and poppy, but it still sounds great. Like, these are such nitpicky things that even though I found them to be maybe a negative, I still enjoyed them. So with all that said, I got to give Fracture by Bleed From Within a 9.3 out of 10. I enjoyed this album tremendously. This just might be album of the year for me, which I hate saying things like that, especially in July. And it's especially since there's so many great albums that are going to come out this month. But it's so good. This band is so good. When I got done doing my in-depth analysis and I was just writing everything out, collecting all my thoughts, I was listening to some other songs and stuff off their discography, and it's all just so it's so good. I am staggered that I haven't heard of these guys before until now, and I haven't even listened to. I'm so disappointed in myself. I haven't even listened to them until now. But I want to know what you guys think. If you've listened to Fracture, go ahead and leave a comment below letting me know what you thought. If you haven't yet, go ahead and listen to at least a couple songs that I mentioned and let me know what you would rate it. And if you enjoyed this review, don't forget to give it a like. If you didn't enjoy it, go ahead and give it a dislike, but let me know why. Let me know why you think Fracture is like the worst freaking album you've ever heard and it deserves like a 2 out of 10. Like I said, this is a safe place where we could talk about all things we love or hate, and I'm sitting here telling you my opinion, so I would like to hear yours. And again, if you guys have any albums, new or old, you want me to review, go ahead and leave a comment below letting me know what it is, and I will make it happen for you. And I hope you guys all have a good rest of your day. You're staying safe. Thank you guys so much for watching. It means a lot to me, taking time out of your day to hear my opinion on this album, and I will see you guys next time.
I was strong.